computer. Got it. Okay, good. We're starting social media content scheduling, take 2. So yeah, the first thing we want to do when we're scheduling our content is really think about the market you're trying to talk to, okay? Are you talking to a consumer, somebody who wants to buy your services, right? Who may be like a homeowner or, you know, just a family type is your emphasis, right? Or are you looking to connect with other businesses, okay? Are you looking to connect maybe with developers or, you know, professional people that are out there that are significant to your basic market? So really trying to understand if you're going to business or consumer will make a lot of difference. And that will also impact which social media platforms you are actually posting to. If you are business to consumer, I really, really, really like Instagram, okay? It's my #1 for people. Facebook obviously has a ton of people. I enjoy that as well, but it's just a little bit harder to see people engaging on Facebook so much. So if you're business to consumer, I really like Facebook and Instagram. If you are business to business, I do recommend you start with LinkedIn, probably. If your people are on LinkedIn or power partner type people are on LinkedIn. I also like Instagram as well. There's a lot of businesses still on Instagram. And again, just because I don't like Facebook as much. Personal preference, right? I was all Facebook all the time up to about 2 years ago, and I've seen the light. I've moved over to Instagram, and I really enjoy that. So with that, we need to talk about frequency, okay? So where are you going to be posting, and how often are you going to be posting? And if you're one of those that you're going to be, man, hard pressed to get, you know, 1 or 2 posts out a week, I would highly recommend focusing on just one platform. So if you are business to business, just put your time and energy into LinkedIn. If you've been doing 2-3 times a week on one account and you want to fold in another one, great, do that. But I'd rather have you do one thing really well than spread yourself super thin across 4 or 5 platforms and really not get a lot of feedback from that. So that's my preference, again, for you guys, is to really put efforts into 1, maybe 2 if you are feeling up to that, okay? Now, really important to understand, content is king, right? If you're just putting out bleh pictures and not really a statement, that's fine. You're not going to get a lot of engagement off of that, okay? Content is the #1 thing. If you're putting out quality content and people are seeing value, they're going to engage, they're going to follow, they're probably going to talk about you, they're going to remember it. Now, content is king, consistency is queen, okay? If you're putting out awesome content once a week, it's probably not enough. If you're putting out mediocre content every day, you're probably seeing a lot of energy going into that, but not a lot of return in followers. So you're like, well, why am I bothering, right? So all of these things kind of fold on to each other. But my recommendation, again, 3 times a week is great. You can see a lot of just organic improvement just by that consistency. 4 times a week is outstanding. So if you can shoot for 3 to 4 times a week on one platform, amazing. If you can do 2 platforms, even better. We'll talk a little bit. I'm going to make a note here about Facebook, Instagram. We'll go to that in a moment. Also, video. Video is content. Dun, dun, dun. Who here's afraid of video, right? Just shout it out. Like, I don't want to be on video. Michelle, no, you're not afraid.
I don't want to be on video either.
Alicia doesn't want to be on video. Alicia, put your guys on video. That's how you solve that problem. Or, right, take videos of your projects, right? Like, hey, you're not even on there, but you're sharing a finished project, right? You're sharing the drainage problem you're solving. So you're showing those types of things. So it doesn't have to be clean. It doesn't have to be produced. It doesn't have to be, you know, lighting right. And oh my God, the dog barked. I mean, today I called the dog the wrong dog name. There was all kinds of weird things going on in my Facebook lives, but you know, you just roll with it. It's what we do. So if you could do one, oh yeah, what was that?
I think that's what's held me back, is thinking that it needs to be perfect.
Right? What is it? Perfection is the enemy of progress, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, just start. And again, the more you do it, the first couple are going to be super uncomfortable and awkward, and they're probably going to be like on their side too, because you filmed them wrong, but that's okay. You'll know next time, well, don't hold my phone vertically because it goes on its side. Yeah. But if you can shoot for 1 video a week, again, I was doing this pretty good last fall, and then I fell off the wagon with COVID. I just literally put it on my calendar every week after a mastermind on Thursday. I'm going to do a Facebook Live. So make the commitments and you'll do it, right? I make a commitment to my emails every other week. I can make a commitment to this. A little bit more on frequency before we get into this. Monday through Friday, I like, if you're posting for your business, that's a good time to post. Oh, there's someone. Hi there. We almost got Yvonne there for a second. Monday through Friday is great. Once you hit, I think it's 100 or 200 on Instagram, I forget, you'll get your analytics and you can see actually when your audience is on Instagram. So don't post to Instagram at 2 o'clock in the morning, right? Don't post to Instagram at 9:30 at night, right? Post when they are going to be on there and it has time to run their feed and that sort of thing. So posting when they're active is great. I know mine usually spikes up about 9 o'clock in the morning, and that's a good time to post. Now, if you are in LinkedIn, if that's the world you're playing in, the business to business, you definitely want to post in the morning. I would say between like 8:30 and 10:30. Every time I post like afternoon, it's just like, it just got forgotten, right? All the stuff in the morning was active and doing its thing, and then your post just kind of fell by the wayside. So post in the mornings. I kind of avoid Mondays and Fridays on LinkedIn. I usually do more Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I only usually do LinkedIn about 1 or 2 times a week. It's definitely my third play that I just don't play with much. So, but definitely do it in the morning if you're going to be on that platform. So real quick, by the numbers, when we talk about Instagram, there's some things to know when you're looking at it, and it'll help you kind of gauge where you should be in terms of following and followers. You know, when you look at your Instagram account, you get your post number, right, at the top. So the number of posts you've put out. You then get your followers, so how many people are following your account, and then you get your following. Okay, so you got 3 major numbers. And again, I'm just mainly going to talk about Instagram because Facebook, you just want thumbs up. So when you have your number of posts, let's say you have 20 posts, okay? If you have 20 posts, you should be able to have 2 times that in followers without doing a lot of extra effort on your end. So if you have 20 posts, you should have 40 followers. If you have 200 posts, you should have 400 followers. Like kind of at a minimum, right? And again, now when I go through and look at people and I see somebody who has 650 posts and they have 179 followers, they are putting in a ton of effort into branding images and putting things out there, but nobody's following them. And there's a couple reasons why that might be. But that's a person I call and get on the phone with because they need my help. So that's just something. And again, if you have that problem, let me know, shoot me an email, send me a text. And yes, Alicia, I will send this video recording out later. But that's just kind of a good litmus, right? So if you're not making that 2 times your number of posts for followers, there's something not really working. Then when it comes to following, this is always interesting. You might get somebody who has, let's say like 100 followers and they're following 1,200 people, okay? There's a big difference between 100 and 1,200. And that difference is they're friending everybody and following everybody in hopes that they follow them back. So not a real strategy, right? It's more just like, I love everybody and I want you to love me back. We try not to do that, right? When I work with my clients, I don't do that for them. I definitely want them to get a real following that is people that are in their area, that are in their market, that are potentially their target client. And we have ways of doing that. Now, I do encourage you to use your following because there are also people that have like 600 followers and they're following 26 people. Well, guess what? If you have 600 followers and you're following 26, like if you followed 800, you'd probably have 1,000 followers, you know, like they're not using that to their advantage. So your following is a very important part of your strategy and growing your followers. So use it wisely. Don't just follow everybody. If you do follow everybody, I hate to say this, unfollow them. You know, go back and follow clients, follow people you want to be working with, follow the local fitness studio in your neighborhood that gets 100 likes on every post so you can see who their market is, because those are people that you maybe want to do work with. A lot of different ways to kind of build a following, and using your following is very important. So again, a lot of people don't do that. And when it comes to the numbers on the following, again, you have your followers, right? I think, I don't know, we're somewhere like 500-ish. I say 2 times your followers can be your following without looking too spammy. So if I have 500, I can follow up to 1,000 before it starts looking like, oh geez, she just likes everybody, right? I have a poll, she's gonna like my account. And again, that fluctuates for me. I'll like people, then maybe I'll unlike people, then I'll like them again. It's a very interesting game that we sometimes play. But try and keep your following less than 2 times your followers. So, okay, that's a little brief intro to social media. And with that, I want to get into scheduling, the types of content. And the types of content that we want to start posting, you'll see again on this handout that I sent out to you guys. Oh, Clarissa, I got to get that to you. Darn it. Clarissa needs the handout. I'm trying to think if anybody else on here might need it. I don't think so. So yeah. Oh yeah, go ahead, Joe.
Sorry, could you just recap that? Less than 2.5 times your followers?
Yes. So let's see, Joe, how many followers do you have? Do you know?
On
I can find it.
Instagram?
Yeah, Instagram.
About 100, I think.
Oh, you got more than that, don't you?
Have I?
Let's see.
I need to ask my daughter.
Colorado Public Works Journal. Oops, there we go. Okay. Yeah, 226, Joe. Way to go.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, and you only have 26 posts, so that's great, right? 2 times your post should be, you know, your number of followers. So you're totally great there. Yep. Now your following should be 2 times your followers or less. So 226, 450, right? So you have room to play with your following. Again, in your industry, following all the engineering firms, commenting on their projects.
Right.
That would be what I would recommend for you. And, you know, obviously all of your people that are in your newsletter, in your magazine, definitely include those as well. But you have definite room to play in that following. So
Great. Okay,
following,
thank you.
2 times your amount of followers. Sure thing. So yeah, so when you post content to social media, let's talk about this real quick. Sometimes you get very one-sided, one-dimensional content, right? Maybe it's just pictures of flowers, and maybe it's a nursery, right? So maybe that's cool. But like, do you want to know the people who work at the nursery? Yeah, that could be fun. Do you want to know some of the clients that come to the nursery and shop? Yeah, that could be nice, right? But they only show pictures of their flowers, which is fine because they're selling flowers, right? So that's good. But what we want to do, I break in content into 4 categories, okay? Category 1 is to inspire. So let's post something that gets people excited, shows them the possibility, shows them the life without the boundaries and what is possible, right? Another category, number 2, and if you want, I would get a blank sheet of paper and make 4 columns, put inspire at the top of 1, educate at the top of the second one. Again, education's pretty simple, right? I'm pretty heavy on education because that's what I like to do, get word out. But you know, you're educating somebody about what you do, about your services, about how you're different, all of those types of things. So that's education. Column 3 at the top of that, why don't you write down behind the scenes?
Oh yeah, that was a good one.
Yes, we definitely want to show like, hey, what are your awards? Who are the people? Who is the team? You know, who are your suppliers? Who gives you the products that you do? Who are the doctors you work with? All of those types of things are really great to include behind the scenes. You're on vacation, right? I want to know if you're on vacation. You know, I mean, if you go on vacation every week, I may be like, wow, I'm paying her a lot of money to go on vacation every week. that can go both ways, right? But if you're on vacation, share some pictures of the family, what you're up to, you know, skiing on the weekends. Share those moments because people like to do business with who they know, like, and trust. And the more you show them who you are, the more they're going to want to do business with you. Community is the last one. So put that on the top of the 4th column. Community gets a little tougher, you know, but it's community events, which, let's be honest, are kind of few and far between right now. Volunteer projects, right? I know Sheila at Kitchen Masters, she is out there I think you're out there weekly, Sheila, like, or, you know, volunteering. And I noticed that, right? I'm like, wow, they're always doing these great projects. That's cool. I should call Sheila and tell her I want to join her sometime. Sheila, take note of that. I want to join you sometime. Sports teams, right? Maybe we'll have football in the fall. You can post about your sports team, you know, let's not get too crazy and make it a sporting network, but right? Out and about when you're out, holidays, seasonal experiences, all those things are kind of community. So Right now, I would love to challenge you all. Michelle, it looks like you're kind of writing. I hope you're doing this. Put down ideas in each of these categories. If you can think of 2 to 4 ideas for each of these, and I'll kind of sit here and talk, you know, just speak up loudly if you have a question on that. I know, again, what you guys all kind of do, and I will try and kind of give examples, but inspiring, right? Let's go to Sarah. Sarah's our Front Range Exceptional Equestrians, right? I hope I got that right. It's always, there's a lot of E's in there.
Yeah.
You know, but inspiring, right? I mean, what are you doing for the people that attend your camps, right? And work with the horses, and how do the horses help them? There's just a ton of potential there to get people excited to maybe donate, right? Maybe they want to donate to the cause. Maybe they tell their neighbors whose, you know, child or adult would be a good fit for your program. You really want to inspire people with what's going on. You know, the landscape crowd, you know, picture this outdoor oasis, right? Before and afters are always good, inspiring. Michelle, what do you got? Looks like you're ready to say something. Oh no, yeah, okay. Oh wait, Sheila, in the categories, yes, sorry. Please tell the #1 category again. Yes, inspire. Sorry, Sheila. Left you hanging there.
You got that better mask in the back. I'm gonna get the better one.
What is
You
the better
know,
mask?
water features, you know, again, for the landscape crowd, right? I'm just gonna go ahead, Yvonne, I might just mute you guys. If you wanna unmute yourself, Yvonne, that's cool. I just muted you real quick. Got a little background noise there, but you know, children's play areas, right? What people are up to, what a blank slate can turn into, that sort of thing. So however you can kind of inspire folks, the better. Again, Sheila, kitchen, I mean, hello. Every time I see those gorgeous kitchen pictures, I'm like, oh, I want that. And it changes every time what I want. So I'll never decide what I actually probably want. So those are great ways. Again, inspiring potential. Anybody want to share any of their inspiration that they wrote down? Anyone? Joe, what do you got? You got something inspirational?
So I'm going to
Yeah.
post about the camping space that I'm going to do the retreats in. So I've been doing some, but I've been a little bit hesitant because
yeah,
everything-
imagine yourself here learning
Yes.
these things. Yes.
So I've done some, but I've been hesitant to do it because I thought, well, with it not opening up, is that like too much of a teaser? But maybe it's perfect because when it opens up, then everybody will be already primed for it. So
that's exactly it, because we're all really bored in our house. Good. Joe, brand awareness, smart. I like it. Yep, good stuff. Good. So again, when I sit down with somebody and I'm doing social media, I try and get 10 in each of these categories, right? So if you do the math on that, guys, that's 40 posts, 40 different post ideas you would have ready to send out on your calendar, right? So again, if you can sit down and do that once a month, once every other month, depending on how often you're posting, right? Once a month is probably too much. We don't need you posting 2 times a day. But you know, you do that. And again, you'll have these great ideas. So education, again, like in my world, I educate about numbers on Instagram, right? I educate about, you know, website and security of your website. You know, people need to know about those types of things. Landscape world, maintenance tips, right? Here we are in June. What do you do for maintenance in June? You know, you're probably not aerating. You're probably not fertilizing, hopefully right now. It's too warm. You know, what are the things you're doing that are going to help you educate, again, your ideal buyer, right? Or if it's not your ideal client, you're educating somebody who might know your ideal client. So you just got to always remember that people can hear about you through other outlets. Home value impact for realtors, right? Curb appeal, Alicia, that's a big one. Like, oh my gosh, look, I mean, I think you posted today actually, like a fairly sad front of a house. I was like, oh, you want to talk about that one at all?
Yeah, that was our before picture before we added a new patio and deck. So we have after pictures to come.
See? Perfect. And again, you can do a side by side. You can do multiple pictures in Instagram so they can kind of flip through. If you do multiple pictures, I know people like to put the before first, and sometimes that's fine. I would lead with the better looking picture. Just my personal belief. Get something, you know, flashy on Instagram. But then again, it's a lot of flash on Instagram, and seeing the ugly thing, you're like, ooh, what's hiding behind that ugly picture? You know, It can go either way. So, but yeah, tons of education's probably the easiest category for a lot of people. Again, behind the scenes, that third category, right? This one is, again, it's introducing who you are. Who is this person? Again, I think Yvonne and Montana, I met these gals through National Association of Landscape Professionals. There's a Facebook group for women. I'm a part of it. And, you know, I just put a post out there. I'm like, hey, I do these webinars. You guys want to come on? Like, I'm in your profession. I work there. Like, come and listen, you know, what we got going on. So great to connect with you guys. But again, you guys don't know me, right? Who is this crazy lady? Is she really doing webinars, right? What is she up to? So it's good on Instagram and on social media when you do live videos and you introduce yourself and who you are. You know, here's my nephews, here's my dogs, right? My sister, Michelle. All these things you can really fold into, you know, making it more personal. And again, people know you, they're more apt to refer you. And that's really the goal. In terms of behind the scenes, awards are always really great things to share. That can go, again, a little bit too extreme. Sometimes we have some architecture firms here in town. That's all you see on LinkedIn. Here's another award-winning project. Here's another award-winning project. And you're like, oh gosh, another award-winning project, you know? So mix it up. Try and keep it, again, not predictable what you're going to be posting. Meeting the team. I think anybody who ever sees a client of yours, whether they're putting in the water feature, they're a sub-consultant of yours, it's a great way to get, you know, just that extra exposure of who your people are. And again, everybody on your team is part of your team, right? It's not like somebody's not good enough to be represented and introduced to your clients. So you want to definitely do that. Your design philosophy, right? Maybe you're out tagging plants for a project. I know what tagging plants is because I used to do it. My sister probably doesn't know what tagging plants is. Donnice, you probably don't know what tagging plants is. Bigger projects, right? You go out to a nursery and you actually say, I like that pair and that pair, but those 4 pairs in there aren't going to work, right? And you put your name on it. Like, this is going to that project site. That's a level of care and consideration that not everybody puts in their projects. So sharing that experience will help you go, again, deeper behind the scenes.
Hey, Kim, can I go back? There's one thing,
Yeah.
Sorry. And I think I muted right as I was coughing, but
Oh yeah.
So I love what you said about like meet the team. And one of the things that, especially if you work in a business, well, any business, it doesn't matter, but doing little highlights on your team members is really powerful marketing material for social media. You know, highlighting Susie because she's doing XYZ, and even if she's got some hobbies, you know, like if it's a high school student working for the summer, or they've got 3 kids, and they're, you know, just really that human factor is huge.
It is huge. You are correct. And again, I know there's a couple. You know, there's an engineering firm here, and it's a big engineering firm. And I feel like their Instagram is solely celebrating the birthdays of people in their firm. It's like, and today we celebrate.
Okay, that might be a bit much for birthday.
Yeah, right. There's a fine line. You want to celebrate them, but like, you know, maybe you do the month of May, and here's the 10 people in the month of May having birthdays. Plus, that's a lot of pressure on the social media person. Like, what if she forgets a birthday, or, you know, he forgets a birthday? Like, oh, that would be miserable. So, you know, gang up some of those general things. And then how do you mix it up? One of them was doing, you know, they all like to share their desk when we started COVID. That was kind of fun and interesting, seeing where people are working. There's just a lot of opportunity of what you can do, but definitely going in and giving some insight. Even on websites, we're doing that a lot now. A landscape architecture company we're working with is doing their favorite plant, right? What's their favorite plant right now? Because it changes. It changes for us. What else were they going to do? Oh, there was something else. Favorite detail on a project. On their project sheets, we're actually putting in what's that favorite thing. And it doesn't have to necessarily be a detail that was built in the project, but even part of the process. Working with the public is important to a lot of firms. So we're adding that to their website. So it's just like, it's a totally different thing than a lot of people are putting on information for projects. So anybody else behind the scenes, any thoughts? Let's see. It's brilliant. Do birthdays for the month or even the week. Yep. Exactly. I like it. You can make it too much about you. Yes, Joe, good point. You can make it too much about you. If you look, you know, when you look at Instagram, let's see here. Let's go to Kim's page. Watch, it's probably like all my face, right? So here we go. There's Kim's like what, 12 pictures or what? Yeah, 4 times 3. You know, there's some words. Father's Day, I'm golfing, my dog, and I did a video. Oh, and there's even Joe's. Look, there's Colorado Public Works Journal, bottom left.
Yay.
Featured in that magazine. Yeah, so again, you don't, if it's like your face on every post, that's probably too much, right? If you're selling landscape services and it's just boom, 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 too much. There are, when we talk about content before we get into community, there's kind of two camps of what social media is, right? Keep it social, keep it of the moment. And then there's also a term people toss around that's called curated, right? A curated page. Everything has my logo on it, and the color tones are all a sepia of a nice gold color, right? Everything has my picture on the left and a quote on the right. Like, it's just very thought through, and that's lovely. It's just not how I roll, okay? I like to, again, my personality is not controlled and contained and very predictable. And I like to just keep it like, what am I gonna put out there today? I usually don't even know until noon what I'm gonna put out there today. So again, when your dog is sitting in a pose that it's like an inverted back bend praying to the sky. I mean, that's something I feel like I need to share to social media at that point in time. So yeah, but again, that balance is definitely great. So then community, I hope you guys are still writing, like you're supposed to be writing while I'm talking. Write down your post ideas. Again, the more you do now, the less you got to do later. So that's exciting. Community, again, we kind of went through some of those ideas for that. Events are tough. So if you know people doing webinars, right? If you know of social networking happy hours, maybe you share that with your people. An organization that you want to get some information about, you share that, right? Any of those things are great. Again, that's usually the piece that kind of wanes a little bit, but you know, the professional organizations I am a member of, when they're doing their meetings, I should probably do a little bit more education about like, hey, there's a, you know, Hispanic Contractors of Colorado meeting this week. Anybody wants to go, I'd encourage you to attend. That sort of thing. So do we have content ideas? Let's see here. Huh? Yeah. Are people writing some things down? Because now we're moving to a calendar, people. We're moving to the calendar. Okay, let me just show this one. This is for a, I mean, this is about as elementary as it comes, people, okay? Like, this is literally a blank calendar with numbered and red pen saying, Jen's Old House Edition, Robert's Testimonial, deck infill, okay? Not rocket science. This is, you know, it takes time. You have to sit down, undistracted, and do it, but it's not, you know, like a formula that you're putting into something and like it spits out this magic equation. You just got to be consistent and you got to have good content. So hopefully those 4 columns and writing those out, that's going to give you your good content. Again, one last note on the content: solve your clients' problems, right? You can, Facebook is easy to share articles. It's not as easy to share on Instagram. There's ways to share things, which again, come in handy. Every now and then I'll do like 1 or 2 kind of shares of a product, because usually they have better pictures than what, you know, some of my clients have. But you want to think about your client, right? Alicia, yours maybe got hit by a hailstorm. They don't know how to handle that. So what do? You've walked them through the insurance process and how you work with the insurance adjusters on the claim. That's a post. Let's see, Michelle, you work with caregivers a lot, right? They're slammed right now. What can you do to offer peace and respite to somebody who is slammed right now? Maybe yours is like just really low key and not so much education, but like just self-care, soak it in. Everything's going to be okay. Like, we hope we get through all of this, right? So you got to kind of, you think about who your audience is and what they want to see. Do people want to see cute kittens? Most definitely. Feel free to share cute kittens a couple times a month. You know, keep it interesting, keep it comical. You know, you can insert some humor sometimes. It's okay. Even, especially on LinkedIn, if you're a business to consumer type individual, I love seeing somebody put humor out on LinkedIn, because I mean, you know, you scroll through LinkedIn newsfeed, I last about 4 posts and I'm like, I'm out. This is boring. I don't have the wherewithal. I'll put stuff out here, I don't have the ability to really stay engaged in what people are putting out there. So mix it up, you know, put something different in a platform that may not be, you know, the typical standard thing. So it's okay. Okay, enough of my content ideas, but let's go back to the calendars. June's almost over. You can look at June. If you go to July, you actually get next week on there, so we can do that. What I like to do is really start broad level, okay? I will start at the whole year. And especially for my landscapers, Sarah with your programs, Joe with your deadlines, right? If you are in the business of, this is a busy season, this is an event, this is a deadline, you're gonna wanna look at that whole year and mark out those, sometimes my mind just misses. Anyways, mark out those key moments, right? You're gonna wanna put down deadline here. And so Joe, if your deadline is on, let's say July 1st, you're collecting stories in the month of June, right? So June 1st, hey engineers, send me your stories for the magazine. Well, guess what? One post isn't enough. You're gonna have to put that on different platforms. You're gonna have to post it at different times. Maybe you send some direct messages to people. Hey, I saw you post about this great opportunity, right? Instagram, direct message an engineering firm. I just saw you post about this project. That looks like an amazing article feature for our magazine. Would love to connect with you on that. Boom, you might have an article just by commenting on somebody's post, okay?
Right.
There's just a lot of opportunities, but you definitely want to, if you, like I do webinars every other week. So there's kind of always one in the hopper. You know, I announce them on my emails. People can find them on my website. I announce them in groups I'm in. But, you know, the day before, now that I've moved Monday or to Wednesday, I try and announce it on Monday. Hey, still time to get in, get on that webinar. A week before, right? A week ago, Wednesday, I was putting out a post. Next Wednesday, we're doing our webinars, enough time to plan. It's in the afternoon, you can do this. So work your way back from those key milestones on your, that was the word I was looking for, milestones. The milestones on your calendar, and then work backwards and mark those on that yearly calendar, okay? Very important to do that. You also want to look at, again, for the landscape crowd, your busy season and your slow season, right? If you are slamming busy in the summer, you probably want to do more inspiration maybe in the November, December, January months, okay? You want to say, hey, why don't you think about giving a gift of a new backyard patio to you for your spouse and you for your Christmas gift, right? Let's not just go shopping and buy mindless things. Let's have something we can enjoy, you know, in our backyard. So announce that in October, announce that in November, and make it like a campaign that you're really building up to, and you'll be surprised what you'll get. If you get busy in March and you need to start booking those clients, I mean, I think of COVID, and it hit at that horrible time of early March when we were getting going in the landscape here. And if people didn't have projects booked from January to March, they were sitting still that whole month of March and half of April until money started coming in and, you know, relief was happening. But, and then people were like, oh my God, I'm gonna be in my house for the next 6 months. I better fluff this up a bit. They were kind of in trouble. And so if you don't really hit those slow times, that's where social media can come into play to help you get through those moments. Oh, holiday lighting, snow plowing, right? Christmas in July. People use this, Avon, Montana. Christmas in July. We are booking, we're giving 15% off snow removal services. We're giving 15% off your holiday lights if you book in July, right? Don't call me October 1st and want me to put up your Christmas lights because I'm probably booked. Call me in July and get on the calendar and make your payment, and we'll be there and we'll give you a real date. So you can really take advantage of the calendar if you look at it in the big picture. So start big, work small, go down to the months. So now is the time when you just start planting items on this calendar. I highly recommend a pencil. I am all about pens. This is a weird personal quirk of mine. I didn't even have pencils on my desk until like 2 years ago. I hate them. I hate the smudge. I hate it. Anyways, pens, right? They're fine, but I would suggest using a pencil and just put a circle on the days that you want to do a post. Now, don't just post on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, right? Because then you don't know your analytics for Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday. So 1 week you do Monday, Wednesday, Friday. The next week, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. The next week, Sunday, Monday, Friday, right? Mix it up at different times in the days, because you're going to do this for about a month, month and a half, to really see what's sticking with your audience and what they're responding to. And it's great because Facebook and Instagram actually give you like your 3 top posts, and it never fails, right? We do branded images. We say, hey, thanks for the kind words. We do all these great things, and they always like the crummy picture from the iPhone of the project, right? People respond to real work and real projects. It's just what we see, right? If I'm out and I took a picture of some irises on a walk and I posted it to my business page, that was like the most popular post. I don't know. It's just something different, right? It's unexpected. It's catching your audience off guard, and they like that. Real quick, we got a note. Joe Taylor, should you do Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn at the same time? Good question, Joe. And thank you for bringing that up, because that was something I wrote down to talk about. And feel free right now to like literally start planting some of these things on your calendar. When you're doing that, mix it up, right? Don't just do like a week of Inspire and the next week Educate and the next week Behind the Scenes. The goal is 1 Educate, 1 Inspire, 1 Behind the Scenes, 1 Community. Again, perfect world, that's not always going to happen. So if you can, great. Joe, back to your question. So when you post to Instagram from your phone, right, you cannot post on your desktop on a computer to Instagram. You have to use your phone. You have to use the app. You can schedule posts to Instagram on your desktop. So if you use Hootsuite or Later, we can talk a little bit about scheduling programs here in a bit. You can do that. So when you post something to Instagram, and I'm just like, new post, set it off, there's an opportunity for me to link my Facebook account to my AEC Consultant Group Facebook account to my Instagram account. So therefore, when I post it to Facebook or to Instagram, it's going to Facebook at the exact same time. And I used to not be okay with that. And now that I manage multiple accounts, I'm totally okay with that. It's just kind of, you know, it's like, okay, perfection, not going for it, right? I'm not going to sit here and, again, we see minimal engagement on Facebook, so I'm not going to take the time to do a separate post to Facebook, if that makes sense. So I'm just going to post to Instagram, and the same thing's going to go to Facebook. Now, funny thing though, you'd be surprised how many people are on one platform and not the other. I was doing Facebook Lives forever, and I've never really done an Instagram Live. And then I did an Instagram Live once, and everybody was like, oh, it's so good to see you. And I'm like, I do these all the time on Facebook. You see me all the time. Like, I'm not on Facebook. I'm like, oh. So do those on both the platforms. Yes, Michelle.
So personal preference about where you put your hashtags. Are you putting them in the post, or are you dotting and putting them in the first comment?
Personally, I feel like the ... is kind of last year. Okay. I'm like, you know, some of my hashtags are actually kind of funny. If somebody wants to read through my 30 hashtags, there's some good ones in there. Like, there's some gold. Like, read it. We've had this conversation numerous times. Some people, you can put them in the first comment of your post, and it does just the same amount of good as putting it in your post. Oh, there's my nephew too. Hey. Anyways, so either way, I personally just do my post, and then I put the hashtags right underneath it, all 30 of them. Again, if you're getting the weird spacing, you just can't have a space at the end of a period. That's going to run a separate paragraph that you had planned together. So you've got to have no space at the end of your period. If you just type in like Instagram sentence structure or something like that, it'll walk you through how to do that. But it's really important. It was a big game changer instead of having the big massive paragraph of all the text. And I'm like, how do people get these cool paragraphs when they post? Again, it's a learning experience. I put a lot of information in my caption, if you will, right? Below the thing. And a lot of people put that information on their image. And again, sometimes it just gets too much, right? Give the image, it's evoking time, great. I talk about time below. I don't have to talk about time on the image.
Are you finding a magic sauce for how many sentences it should be? Because there's some, like, there's a whole theory behind it, but is there any actual truth behind that theory?
I have no idea. And I don't even, no.
Okay.
Sometimes I'm short and sweet, and sometimes I'm like, it literally is like, you're shut down. you've said too many things. Like, stop, go back, revise what you edited.
Yeah.
So that definitely comes into play. But I do, you know, like I think about one of our clients, we have 12 really great, like branded image, right, of testimonials. Well, I don't want to post 3 testimonials a month because I've just blown in 4 months all of these great images until I get more testimonials. So, you know, I do 1 a month. And then if somebody sends in a card, great, that's another one. Her crews are actually sending me pictures when they're out there, like in process doing work. So I'll post that, and maybe I already have something planned and great, she sent me stuff on Saturday. I'm like, I'll get that going on Monday. So again, be of the moment, but when there's times and you're like looking at the month, it's always never fails. The beginning of the month, I'm like, oh dear, blank month, where are we going to go? Okay. Testimonial, product, feature. Okay, great. Project, got that. It's just funny how the pieces will come into play. But again, as much as you can have a structure, the better, for sure. Does anybody have any, I mean, I hope you're kind of planting some, I'm not doing any planting because I'm just sitting here talking. Hopefully my talking is not distracting you. It's kind of like Jeopardy music in the background, my talking, right? Holidays, let's talk holidays real quick. Those are good, right? You definitely want to acknowledge Veterans Day and Christmas and these things, but try and do it again in an authentic way, right? Try and take a picture of your team all in ugly sweaters for Christmas. You know, plan ahead, think ahead, do it at Thanksgiving, get the picture ready. You know, I always love like the first day of fall is always like my favorite Instagram day ever because it's all like Starbucks cups and a pile of leaves and like pumpkin spice latte. And I'm like, oh God, I'm so over these. So try and again, think outside the box. I think Alicia, you guys actually did something that stuck in my mind. I think I even screenshotted it. Might have been Christmas. I don't remember what, but it was like on a roof and it had like hail damage. And you had something like, it was either Christmas lights like next to the hail. I don't know, it was something, but I loved it. I was like, oh my gosh, this is like so what you do. And of the holiday, it made me smile. So try and again, think a little bit creatively. Yes, there is National Margarita Day. Yes, there is Donut Day. Yes, there is Pizza Day. And sure, post all day long about those if you like. Again, I like to think there's probably just a little bit more content out there that you can engage more authentically with your client base, you know, without getting into that. Yeah, any questions for me? I'm going to stop talking for a few minutes.
So Kim, this is Denise.
Hi,
hi. So, you know, posting static kind of stuff versus engaging posts. You know, because I know there is something to the algorithm and like when you engage, you get more visibility.
Yep.
Can you speak to that for a moment?
Yeah, it is a fine line in there. First of all, you kind of got to have followers to really have that have an impact, right? Mm-hmm. If you have 100 people, you're not probably going to get a ton of engagement on some of those things. So you really do want to build that following. That is important for that reason. Now, asking questions, right? And don't, I was in a coaching course once, they called it a Donald Trump question, right? Not that, you know, I can see your faces right now. There's probably some shock going out there, right? It's just a question, because when you say the name Donald Trump, it evokes an emotion, good or bad, in every single person in this country. So ask a question that evokes an emotion, right? You can't help but go and respond to it. Definitely in that engagement, I know Alicia, you guys did a giveaway here recently where you were doing a free mani-pedi or something to that effect. And again, I'm like, oh, I want to enter, but I'm like, oh, I don't want to enter. I'm like their client. That's not cool. So, but yeah, you know, put things out there like that, right? Do a monthly referral contest. Hey, if you refer somebody to like our website, we're taking note of that. Let us know. We're going to give away some sort of gift card at the end of the month. You know, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. You know, what's your favorite nonprofit you volunteer at? People, you know, even as crazy as like, what is your favorite cereal? I know it has nothing to do with what I do, but like, if you ask that question, I'm going to write down Golden Grams, right? I'm not going to fly by that without saying Golden Grams. So, there's a lot of opportunity to just get people kind of interested and intrigued as opposed to just speaking at them all the time. And it's tough. And again, you gotta you know, think about what are those opportunities, you know, do you have like a lead magnet of sorts that you can dangle in your profile for people to download? You know, can you direct them places? Can you guide them to give you referrals? Can you guide them to invite people to like the page? And it is a lot of trial and error. You know, I wish there was, you know, some hard lines on that, but it can be very beneficial. And again, a little bit of creativity outside of the box, right? Every month we're giving away 4 flats of flowers to somebody that comments the most on our post. That's a little passive, but you know, again, you're wanting to get people engaged and that sort of thing. So thinking of those opportunities is a great thing. That helped, Denny's.
Yes, thank you.
Okay. Anybody struggling with the calendar? Oh my gosh, July is coming up. I gotta do this. My July is blank. I don't know about yours. What else do I have on my special sheet of notes?
And did you see Joe's question? I don't know if you saw it.
Sure.
Did you see it? Joe's question? It's been a little while, so I just didn't see it.
The Facebook and Instagram, LinkedIn?
Yeah, did you already answer that?
Yeah, we did. Yep.
Okay.
You're good. You're good. Again, I like posting the Instagram and boom, right to Facebook with the exact same thing because they have that nice linked accounts thing. You know, owned by the same company makes it all go so much smoother. Mix it up. I got that. Big picture. And again, oh, Canva. Let's talk Canva real quick. Everybody needs to know about Canva. If you don't know about Canva, you need to know about Canva. It's $12 a month for the pro. I like the options with the pro. I pay it. Instagram posts, you can follow a template that they have. You can do funky fonts. You can use images, stock photos. It is outstanding. Like you look like a polished graphic designer, like literally with zero training. Like drop an image, drop the font on and edit and download, like that easy. And again, there is a free version. So you can upload your logo and that can come in and onto your images. So that always helps. Can you measure both platforms, Facebook and Instagram, and see which gets more following for the same post? Yes, you can see your outreach, Joe, on your posts. So, you know, maybe pick 2 or 3 and see like which ones did that. I do a end of the month report when we do social media for our clients. And it's like, you know, this is where you started, this is where you were, these were your 3 most popular posts, which again, it's just funny that it's always a project picture. But it gives you like the metrics on those. So you can easily see, okay, out of all the things I posted, these 3 did well. Now it could have done well because of time, or it could have done well because of content. And again, you just need to kind of beta test that on your own to see what is really going to be most beneficial. I like to think, again, posting 3 times a month, or excuse me, 3 times a week, you can grow an organic following about 30 to 50 people a month. Should be easy without doing a ton of effort on the following side. If you do want to do a lot of effort on the following, playing that following followers game, I've uncracked a couple codes here recently. I think we're up to 200 this month. And again, these are people in the industry, right? I mean, yeah, there might be an occasional hair salon in Golden that probably doesn't need my services, but oh, hi Ange, yeah, you're here too. Wow, the whole family's here. Nice. These are my crazy people in Iowa. Legitimately though, my one sister Michelle does work with my mom, who is an interior decorator. Okay, and they're gone again. So yeah, you can easily grow, I would say 100 to 200 people a month if you put in some effort. And again, that's following smart people and doing that. So, and again, you got to kind of keep that balance, right? Who is following you, who's not following you, that sort of thing. But we're actually running, I'm going to do a little segue here. Ooh, you guys are you're the second people to find out about this. We're doing a fun special in the month of July. Okay. This special is going to be, we do social media management for people, right? We will, if you go through this course and you're like, oh my gosh, I posted 2 times in July, like I can't do this, Kim, like thank you for your kind support, but time is not my friend and I don't have the time to sit down. I mean, it should take you, 2 hours, let's say, right, to fill out the calendar for the month. Then you got to get your images and then you got to write the content, and you can do that on the fly each time you want to post. or you can do that, you know, on one sit down, which could be 8 hours, right? You might sit down and just do 15 posts. I know, Alicia, you plan yours out every couple of months. And again, how much thought and energy does that take? It takes a little bit. So we are doing a really fun thing in July. I'm taking on 5 people, 5 new social media accounts, and we're going to do 10 posts. So actually, you give me 1 hour of your time where I ask strategic questions, competition, target markets, neighborhoods you work in. You send me 10 pictures as we're on the phone for this 1 hour, okay? 10 pictures get sent my way. I use those. I get your logo. And I guarantee 100 followers for the month of July. So I will run your social media, put those 10 posts out. You can approve, you know, read what we're doing. And we're doing that at half off our standard monthly rate when we work with people. So our standard monthly is $650 for business to consumer. And so we're going to be offering it for $325 for the month of July, 10 posts. Again, we do more posts when we do the $650. So you're not getting all the package of the $650, but you will guarantee 100 followers are going to be added to your account. And guess what? If they're not, you get your money back and you just got 10 free posts for the month. So it's kind of a fun thing. Again, if people want to keep working with us after July, great. If you just want to work with us in July and get a smoking deal for social media for $325, no judgment. I love it. So I'm just excited to see people's results. And again, as I know some people, I struggled, right? When I first got on Instagram, I'm like, why can't I get off 89 followers? Like, this is so depressing. And again, you just uncover this and you uncover this and this next step and this next step. And so we've really found a great way to get followers in an area that is specific to you, right? I'm not buying your leads over across the ocean. And it's okay to have people in like Zimbabwe follow you, but like, you don't need 100 people from Zimbabwe in 1 month following you, right? That's our goal. We want to get you people in your neighborhoods that you're working in. So I'm super excited to have this, but we have room for 5 people. Again, let me know. You can drop a deal in the chat, your message. You can email me. You all got my email. And we can chat about that in more detail. But yeah, I don't know. Is anybody, any questions? Any questions? We're 6 minutes over. I knew that introductions always takes long. Any thoughts? Any thoughts? Did people actually get some social media content ideas down on paper and move to a calendar? Raise your hand, yes or no. Ah, Sheila, thumbs up. Hey, good use of it. Emojis, yes, great. Denise, yes. Michelle, yes. Joe, did you get some ideas?
Am I
Joe
still
got
muted?
it, yes. Oh, good. Sarah got some ideas. Montana. Oh, thanks, guys. I appreciate it. Those thumbs are awfully awesome. Good. Well, and again, if you guys have questions, if somebody, thanks, Shell, appreciate it. You know, if social media is still just like scratching your head, like I don't really understand it, let me know. Like I said, I have a Social Media 101 webinar. We'll probably do again here soon. Everything is on the website. I now have like control of making updates to my website, which I'm thrilled about. AEC Consultant Group here. I'll put it in the chat. AECconsultantgroup.com. And this is recorded, so you can go ahead and refer back /resources/calendar. That should get you there. Everything, all the webinars are listed there now. So again, just email me. I'll send you the link. Pro tip, it's always the same link. So if you're in on one, you can get in on all of them without emailing me. But I always like to know if I gotta like wait around for folks to come in. Plus if I have handouts, I can email those out beforehand. But yeah, the website is up to date. I have next 2 weeks from today, we are doing 7-step marketing plan. I love this. It is like a sequential order of how to really get your marketing done. Again, you can go from, if you're in phase 1 and 2 and you want to go to 7, by all means, you can do that, but it's going to cost out the nose. What we like to do is work your way up to get all of your systems in place. So when you get to that final step, it doesn't cost as much. The 1-2 weeks from then is turning past clients into current clients. I love that one. Clients you worked with and then just kind of, you know, maybe it was a landscape project and it's done. There's a way to reignite those people. So love to talk on that as well. This will be posted to the YouTube channel that we have. We did a great talk 2 weeks ago, attracting A+ clients. I love that one. It's one of my favorites. We did it at a conference here this spring. So yeah, you can check that out. Check out other things. I'm around, again, always available for chit chat. Let me know if you want to be one of those 5 folks for July at the super great rate of $325 for your social media on Instagram. Again, it will be on Instagram. If you do have the Facebook, we will do the share to Facebook, but the followers are only coming on Instagram because Facebook's like impossible without paying money. But that's just my opinions. Let's see. I don't know if anybody's got anything else. I guess that's probably it. Anything? Thanks, Michelle. Appreciate it. Have fun in Nova Scotia. Awesome. Thank you, Joe. All right. Oh, one person's in waiting. Oh no, how long were they waiting? That makes me sad. Or maybe they just tuned in. Time zone thing, right? Look at you every time. All right, guys. Thanks again for joining. Appreciate it.